Hey everyone, welcome to Edison Bob. Today we talk about a proposal to end a crowd loan and the KSMStarter effect. So we are seeing for the first time ever in the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem a proposal to end a crowd loan early, so ahead of time, and stop the bid of this crowd loan to get a parachain slot. This is a first. And there is the ability for people to second it. And we're talking about this in a second. So we're talking about what is happening, who's involved, what the actual proposal is, and the potential future impact. But before we jump in, I would like to thank everyone. I'm at almost 3,000 subscribers on Twitter, and also the YouTube channel has gathered about 580 followers, so that's quite impressive for me. I'm very happy. So let's jump in. Before we understand what is actually happening with the crowd loan and why there is a proposal to cancel it, we need to understand KSMStarter. It's a project where many people are claiming that it is a scam. And it all started with this project launching on Twitter and on Medium and saying KSMStarter as substrate version. And people began looking into it, and a few things didn't click and didn't make sense. And so naturally, for every blockchain project and protocol, people started to ask questions. And they asked questions, and in this case, they didn't really get the answers that made them happy. And so quite a few users on Twitter and everywhere were getting very suspicious, and after some time concluded that this might likely be a scam. For example, Donnie Big Bags here said, "Don't fall for this scam. There are a lot of bots liking, retweeting, commenting, but there is no GitHub, so source code that can be looked at. There is no actual white paper, so a concept that everyone can review. And there is not really evidence of them building on Kusama. Instead, it looks like they just talked about building on Kusama, but not really understanding what it means." Yes. And this was also very much highlighted when the project actually launched in October. And someone was seeing that 2 minutes ahead of the official launch, someone already started buying into the project. And when they started asking questions about this, they got banned from the channel and so on. A lot of people were chiming in from the Kusama Polkadot community and explaining how this is very suspicious and how to look at this. It is what was even cited as an example of how to identify a scam. So I will be linking all of those threads, and they are very good examples to see and understand how you can be aware of scams and how you can protect yourself by asking the right questions. And these are also very valuable people from the community that show you what's going on. One of the highlights again was Donnie when he said, "Warning, KSMStarter has nothing to do with .ksm substrate. They lied about building on substrate. They lied about launching on Moonriver, because that's what they did. They were saying they will launch the token on substrate, which does not make sense because substrate is a technology which is then later implemented, for example, in Polkadot or Kusama, and not even there are you launching tokens, but you're launching tokens on actual parachains." And now eventually they launched on Ethereum. So we saw something very similar happen on Polkadot when a lot of scam projects were calling themselves Polka Starter and so on. And Donnie rightfully says the Polkadot brand was damaged with fake Polka projects. This won't happen on Kusama. And he's very serious about this. He's been saying this in private talks also, that he's sad about and mad about the Polkadot brand being misused, and that we should not let this happen on Kusama also. So a lot of community members are taking on the fight and fighting against the Kusama brand being misused for scam projects. And it also goes so far as that there is the polka.js.org/phishing webpage, which lists scams and potentially dangerous projects. And KSMStarter has been listed there shortly after the launch. So you can even see it there. And there are also a lot of screenshots provided that show that the community from KSMStarter consists of a lot of bots that are just posting comments and comments and comments, often the same comments with pages of these screenshots. Also provided by Donnie Big Facts. Thank you for this. Yes, so to sum it all up, what is the issue about KSMStarter? Why is it very likely a scam? The pitch itself, so the presentation of the product, it's an unrealistic pitch. It doesn't really understand the ecosystem and how it works. This can be explained in detail. And it also made lies about the technology. The founders, they don't talk about the project. You don't even find most of them on Twitter. A lot of them got switched out on the website. And the founder of the project, Siwon Kim, hasn't been mentioning the project for months, likely to protect his own identity and not be associated with the brand later on. Some of the people mentioned that are founders of the project participated in scams earlier, and the project itself is also backed by shady venture capital firms. They made use of Twitter bots. They very quickly got to 10,000, 30,000, 50,000 followers, but not in a very organic way, very unnatural way. And then there, of course, was the issue of the launch front running and that they are registered as a scam in the Polka.js platform. So this was KSMStarter. And now the question is, what does this have to do with the current Integritee Crowdloan? So Integritee is one of the projects currently running for a parachain slot. They are participating in the Kusama Crowdloan, and they're asking the community to contribute KSM tokens to be able to afford a slot on a parachain slot on the relay chain. And the Integritee project has a lot of respect from the community itself. The project has been building for a lot of years. I can show you the website. It's about data privacy. It's about how to structure data in a way that it is accessible by entities, but the data subject, so the person the data is about, can still decide what to do with the data. And it got a lot of respect from the community. And they recently started the Crowdloan. And then one day, they shared this tweet by KSMStarter, and the KSMStarter said, "We are thrilled to announce the upcoming IDO of Integritee on KSMStarter. A current competitor in the upcoming Kusama Parachain Auction, Integritee Network is preparing to have a massive launch. Secure a seat on TIA rocket ship." And the link to the KSMStarter medium. So Integritee has been supporting this launch project, this sort of crowdloan from KSMStarter. And so the community was very confused because they see KSMStarter as a scam project and they see Integritee as an actual serious project. So a lot of community members were voicing their opinion that they're not happy about what is happening there, not contributing with you guys anymore. This is not looking good. The X emoticon scam, please avoid this. And so the community was like in turmoil and were trying to ring a bell and say, hey, you shouldn't do this, Integritee. You should stay away from KSMStarter if you want to have the support of the community. The Integritee Network then responded, I think a day later or so, yes, a day later, with a lengthy post trying to explain what is happening. but yeah, the explanation wasn't too good. One of the main points that they were claiming is that they say, we believe in opening the availability of the token to a larger and more diverse audience. Crowdloans are very capital intense for contributors, and we want to give the less wealthy community the ability to participate. This was seen as a very weak argument because participating in the KSMStarter project required people to actually provide more capital and buy KST tokens, so from the KSMStarter project, tokens from that project, before they could even participate in the Integritee launch. So this argument didn't even hold up. And so again, this explanation was criticized. Donnie Bigback saying it's clear that Integritee has no integrity, and it's clear that the VCs make your decisions for you. So the story and the narrative took on a bad turn for Integritee, because now the question was in the room, is Integritee forced to use the KSMStarter platform? Is it maybe not their own will because they're not reacting to the feedback of the community, but instead doubling down on this and spreading information that is actually wrong or doesn't add up? And the consequence has been, and then other people explained, like Leemo here, that he has been blocked for asking to explain, okay, this was KSMStarter, and KSMStarter was blocking everyone who was pointing out that they are a scam. But then later, Integritee banned him from Telegram for asking them to explain. So the situation got so heated that Integritee started blocking people who were questioning the business practices. And so this leads us to the actual proposal that happened. So we see this happening on the 24th of October, so again, a few days later. And Young Beef, also known as Crypto Cowboy OG, was posting, "The time has come to let your voice be heard in governance. We now have the opportunity to end Integritee's Crowdloan on November 14th, until they disassociate with KSMStarter and do right by the community. Read about the proposal here." And so what has been happening here is that there has been made an actual on-chain proposal. So a proposal that is posted to the blockchain, to the Kusama relay chain, and is about to be executed there if it is properly voted on. And you can see that it got a lot of retweets. So it got 230 retweets if you add up the retweets and the quote tweets, and a lot of likes. So really, really high feedback and a lot of engagement that was produced here. And so you can read into the Polka Assembly proposal. I will link it down in the description. But one of the main messages here is that this proposal is intended to send a message to Integritee. And it says, do not try to trample on the community. Do not try to blindside the community. Do not try to pull a fast one on the community. Be transparent. So the proposal is to end the crowdloan early. So a crowdloan usually has a given time period for that it runs. It's a few weeks, like, 8 weeks or 12 weeks or 16 weeks. I don't know exactly, but a few weeks. And this proposal is, so to say, a warning shot in that it says the crowdloan should end as early as possible, as it can be voted on. And then another one could be submitted. You can read into this. So how does it work? First of all, currently it's proposed that there should be a voting on this. So everyone can second this proposal by locking up 0.05 KSM for a little amount of time, or until the vote is over. And if there are enough seconds being added, it will go into a voting stage. And the voting period will last from 13th October until 6th of November. And I think all the KSM on the account can be used to vote. So even staked KSM can be used to vote. So if you're staking KSM currently, you can also at the same time simultaneously put them to use by voting for or against any proposal. And what is also important to notice is if you are voting, you can vote with conviction. So voting will lock up your tokens for a certain amount of time. And if you are very convinced about a certain proposal, you can lock up your tokens for a longer amount of time. And the longer lock time means your KSM will have more weight. Yes, and so it's going to be very interesting to see how this proposal actually ends, how much for and how much against votes we have, how much individual retail users will be voting, and how much big contributions in votes will be coming in from maybe larger accounts, venture capitals. And at the end, the proposal might win or it might lose, we will see. And as I said, it's just a warning shot. So Integritee may resubmit a new Crowdloan immediately after. And it's basically, the basic idea is to send a message and have a broad discussion about how we should handle the way that Crowdloans are done, and if how transparency should be handled, and so on. So what we are seeing here is that politics are coming to the blockchain. Politics are coming, and this means we are entering a phase of on-chain politics. So politics is not only happening around the project and maybe in the way that the source code is contributed and what features are implemented and so on, but also now proposals on the blockchain are voted on. This leads to a discussion on values, so what is important to us as a community or as a blockchain ecosystem, and value. The question is a project like KSMStarter providing value for our ecosystem? And as of now, a lot of people are of the opinion that it is not adding value and that it is maybe even dangerous to the ecosystem because it is bad for the image and so on. And another interesting aspect, so as of now, the proposals that we have on the blockchain are technocratic proposals, like add this new feature, open a Crowdloan and so on. So it's very technical, it's very bureaucratic. And now this is joined by democracy. So by an actual discussion about how our ecosystem should move on. And to add this as a last point, the community is now taking the tools and the campaigning into their hands. So we have been given the governance palette and the whole democracy system that is built into Kusama and into Polkadot. And now actual community members are picking up those tools and using them when they think that it is important. And so this is what actually politics is about. Taking tools and using them for what you think is important and for the direction you think the ecosystem should take. So it's actually a part of the vision of Gavin Wood is being implemented right now or is being tested right now. And we are seeing how all of this is playing out. So I've been asking around people, what is your suggestion for Integritee? And I've been summing up the suggestions that have been coming. And so the most important thing is accept the message. So people are sending a message. They want to tell you something. And this is the community of people. These are people that maybe would like to contribute to the Crowdloan, but they now see you associated with a scam project, a project that has the intention of taking away the money from people without providing value in return. And so I think this is the message that is being sent. And maybe it's not exactly my interpretation, but the idea is that you should get into communication with people, that you should talk to people, listen to people, get in an active communication and see what it is actually about for them. And this also means that you should stop blocking people with legitimate concerns. Also, this has been verbalized in different variations. Be honest about your motivations. Maybe talk about, are you being forced to do this or not? The main idea is be honest about your motivations and don't give explanations that actually don't make any logical sense if you look behind them. And also this is very important, and I think that's the main message. Besides all of the detailed discussions that are being had, you should disassociate from KSMStarter because of all the reasons we have talked about. And of course, once you have done this, and if the proposal goes through and the crowd loan ends early, after you've done all of these steps, reapply, because I think from the tech perspective and from the overall track record of Integritee, it's still a legitimate project and it should still be supported from everything we know as of today. So we're ending this. Of course, the memes are coming in. And so if you like the content, I would be happy if you like and subscribe. And also I am running a node on Kusama, actually 2 nodes as of a few weeks ago. So you can nominate the nodes and earn interest on your KSM. And if you have your KSM staked, of course, you can participate in governance voting. That's it for today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.